Alright, so this is 8-1 notes. It's adding and subtracting polynomials. It's fairly easy stuff. So up here is a couple things if you want to read through it. There's a table here that you can look at if you don't understand or need more examples. So I'm going to dive right into the exercises. Okay, it says determine whether each expression is a polynomial. If it is a polynomial, find the degree and determine whether it is a monomial, binomial, or trinomial. Okay, so we're going to start here with number 1. This is one term all by itself, so this here is a monomial. Alright, and I'm just going to go down. So the next one, number 3, 7x minus x plus 5. You can actually combine these two. 7 minus 1 is 6, so there's 6x plus 5. You have two terms here, so this is going to be a binomial. Alright, and again, you can always pause this, rewatch it if I go too fast. Number 5, you cannot do number 5 because of this fraction. You have a term in the bottom on the denominator, so this one is no. It is not a polynomial. Okay, number 2, again, you have your q squared is in the denominator, so again, this is no. This is not me a polynomial. Number 4, you have 3 separate terms here. You do not combine these two because the g has a squared right here. This g does not. So you have 3 terms here. So this is, yes, it's a trinomial. Tri means 3. Right, and this last one, again, you have 2 separate things. You have x and x squared, 2 separate terms. So this right here will be a binomial. All right. The next little section, write each polynomial in standard form. Identify the leading coefficient. Standard form means you take the highest degree and you go from the highest to lowest degree. So looking here, and I will highlight these so you can see it. You have a degree of 3, a degree of 5, and a degree of 2. So we're going to go with the highest one. So the highest degree we have is x to the 5th power. Then we have x to the 3rd power. And then we have this minus x squared. Okay. Then it wants your leading coefficient. So your leading coefficient is the number that is in front of your first term. There's not anything written down. That's because you have your invisible 1. So my leading coefficient would be 1. Okay. We'll just go right down left to right first. Here, okay, so you want your highest degree to go first. So if I look at my degrees, I have a 7. And I have an 8, so the highest one is 8. You copy it as is, so you have negative x to the 8th power plus 2x to the 7th power. And again, you're looking for that leading coefficient. That leading coefficient is this invisible 1 that you have right here. So I'm going to put negative 1. All right, and that's it for that. So here we go, number 8. So again, you're going to look at your degrees. Okay, so I'm going to write this. The highest degree I have is a 5, so negative 7x to the 5th. Then I have a 4, so plus x to the 4th. Then I have the 3, so plus 4x to the 3rd power. And then you just have this lovely 1 hanging out in the back. Then it wants your leading coefficient. That's the number in front of the highest degree. So that's my negative 7, so my leading coefficient is negative 7. All right, number 11. So same thing, I'm going to highlight my degree. So here you have a 1. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight this stuff. So I have a 1, I have a 4, and I have a 2. So when I rewrite this, the highest one is a 4, so 5x to the 4th power. Then 2, so minus x squared. Then the 1, so plus 3x. And then I have my constant, which is just a negative 2. Okay, then it asks for your leading coefficient. Leading coefficient is what goes in front of the first term. So that's 5, so this is 5. All right, number 9. So again, like I said, you are always more than welcome to pause, rewind. If I go too fast, I just don't have a whole lot of time to make videos. So here we go. This next one, we have 6, we have 5, we have 8. So when I write this, the biggest one is 8, so 2x to the 8th power. Then it's 6 minus 3x to the 6th power, and then it's 5 minus x to the 5th power. Okay, and then you're looking for your leading coefficient. That's the number in front of the highest power. So that's 2. So my leading coefficient here is 2. Okay, last one that we have. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight my powers. So I have 4. Okay, again, this is going to be, whoops, this is a 1 right there. So I'm going to highlight my 1. Then I have a 5. And then I'm going to write it the highest degree to the lowest. So the highest one would be 5, so 4 to the x to the 5th power minus 2x to the 4th plus the x plus the 3. Last thing it wants me to do is find my leading coefficient, so that is the number that's leading everything, and that is going to be a 4. Okay, and that's all that you have to do on those. And then now we're down here to the second part. There are two ways you can do this. There is a horizontal method and a vertical method. I'm going to show you how to do it both ways on a couple of them. And then I prefer the horizontal method, so I'm going to go that way. But if you like using vertical method, you do whatever floats your boat. So there's a couple exercises here and definitions that I'm teaching in class, but for the video, I'm going to skip through that and go right down into the examples. So here we go. Number 1. It says find each sum or difference. So for this one, I'm going to rewrite it first. So I have 4a minus 5 plus 3a plus 6. That's the first thing I'm going to do is rewrite it. Then I'm going to combine my like terms. So the first thing that I see here is I have a 4a and I have a positive 3a. Okay, so I know 4a plus 3a gives me 7a. And then I'm going to combine my constants I have here. I have a negative 5 and a positive 6. Negative 5 plus 6 gives me a plus 1. And there's nothing else I can combine, so that's my final answer. All right, let's get on over here to number 2. Okay, so again, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this. So I have 6x plus 9 plus 4x squared minus 7. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and start highlighting what I have. So first I see this positive 4x squared. There are no other x squared, so I'm going to leave it as 4x squared. Then I have a 6x, so I'm going to highlight this 6x, and I see that I do not have any other 6x's, so I'm going to put plus 6x. And then the last thing that I can see is I have a plus 9 and a minus 7. 9 minus 7 is 2, so I'm going to have a plus 2 right here. There's nothing else I can combine or simplify, so that's my final answer. All right, number 3. So again, the first thing that you want to do is you want to rewrite it. So I have 6xy plus 2y plus 6x plus the 4x minus, or 4xy, and then I have a minus x. Okay, so I'm just going to start highlighting and seeing what I have. I'm going to start with the 6xy first, and I have another xy. I have 4 of them. So total 6 and 4 gives me 10 xy's. Okay, then I see that I have a 2y. I don't see any other y's, so I'm going to write plus 2y. And then I have 6x here and a minus x. So if I do 6 minus 1, that gives me 5, so I have plus 5x. Nothing else I can combine or simplify, so that's my final answer. All right, let's move on over here to number 4. So again, first step, rewrite it. So x squared plus y squared. You have a plus and negative x squared, so I'm just going to leave it as minus x squared plus a y squared. Okay, so let me go ahead. I'm going to start first with what I have. I see an x squared and a minus x squared. Okay, so that's 1 minus 1, which is 0. So pretty much if you want to, I'm just going to put a little line through these because those are gone. And then the next thing that I have here is I have a y squared and a y squared. So I have 1 y squared plus another y squared. So that gives me 2 of those things that are called y squareds. And there's nothing else for me to combine, so that's my final answer. All right, number 5. Okay, so again, on number 5, just rewrite it. So we have 3p squared minus 2p plus 3 plus this p squared minus 7p plus 7. Okay, and we're just going to take one by one. So I have a 3p squared here. I have another p squared here. 3 plus 1 is 4, so we have 4p squared. Then I have a negative 2p here. I have a negative 7p here. Negative 2 and negative 7, that gives me negative 9p. And then the last thing that I have is I have a plus 3 here and a plus 7 here. 3 plus 7 is 10, so plus 10. Again, there's nothing else I can simplify or combine, so that's my final answer. All right, number 6. Okay, I'm going to kind of zoom out. There we go, number 6. All right, so again, first thing you do is rewrite it. 2x squared plus 5xy. Nope, there you go, xy. Plus 4y squared. Again, you have a plus and a negative, so that's just going to be minus xy. Minus 6x squared plus 2y squared. And I'm going to go ahead and start combining things. So I see I have an x squared here, and I have an x squared here. So 2 minus 6 is a negative 4, so I have negative 4x squared. Then I see that I have xy here. I have an xy here, so 5 minus 1 is 4. So I have plus 4 of those things that are called xy's. And then I have these y squareds here and y squareds here. So I have 4 plus 2, which is 6, so I have 6 y squareds. Again, nothing else I can combine, so that's my final answer. All right, and these last couple ones, there's only one other thing we have to do now. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and rewrite this. I have 8p minus 5r, but here's where these are different. You have this negative here. You have to distribute this negative to everything inside. When you distribute a negative 1, all it does is change the signs of everything. So this negative 6p squared becomes a positive 6p squared. 6r becomes a negative, and the negative 3 becomes a positive 3. After that, then we can start combining like terms. So I'm going to go with my highest degree, so I have a 6p squared right here. There's no other p squares, so I'm going to write 6p squared. Then I have my p's. I have an 8p here. There's no other p's. Nope, there's not, so I'm just going to write plus 8p. Then I'm going to look. I see that I have r's. Let's see, I want orange. There we go. Negative 5r and a negative 6r, so I have a total of negative 11r. And then I just have this little 3 hanging out here by himself, nothing else to combine with him, so I'm going to write down plus 3. Okay, so again, like I said, if I ever go too fast, y'all can pause or rewind. All right, here we go. So first step, rewrite it. I have 8x squared minus 4x minus 3. I have a negative here that has to be distributed to everything in the parentheses, so every sign is going to flip-flop. So plus 2x plus x squared minus 5. Okay, and then we're just going to go ahead and start combining like terms. So my highest degree is the 2, so 8x squared plus x squared. 8 plus 1 is 9, so we have 9 of those things that are called x squareds. Then my next thing we'll look at are my x's. I have a negative 4x and a positive 2x. Negative 4 and a positive 2 give me a negative 2x. And then the last little thing that I see that I can combine are negative 3 and my negative 5. Negative 3 and negative 5 gives me a negative 8. And that's my final answer. All right, we just have what, 4 more? Yeah, 4 more. Okay, so here we go. Again, I'm going to go ahead and distribute the negative to everything inside and write everything down. So 3x squared minus 2x. Distribute the negative, so all my signs change. Negative 3x squared, negative 5x, positive 1. Now I'm going to combine my like terms. So I see I have a 3x squared and a negative 3x squared. 3 minus 3 is 0, so these are pretty much gone. Next thing that I see is I have a negative 2x and a negative 5x. Negative 2 and negative 5 give me a negative 7, so there's negative 7x. And then the next thing that I have is a positive 1 hanging out by itself, so here I'm going to write plus 1. And that's my final answer. Okay. And let's see, we're going over here to number 10. So again, number 10, we're going to distribute, let me make this a little smaller. There we go. We're going to distribute the negative to everything inside, and now we're going to rewrite. So 4x squared plus 6xy plus 2y squared plus x squared minus 2xy plus 5y squared. Okay. And I'm going to go with my highest degree, so I have some squares in here. So 4x squared, and I have an x squared. So 4 plus 1 is 5, so we have 5x squared. And then I can do, it doesn't matter from here what I can do, because I have a y squared also, so we can, oops, that's not what I wanted. And there went everything, so 2y. Okay. So now, I'll go ahead and combine my y, so 2y squared and 5y squared. 2 plus 5 is 7, so plus 7y squared. And then the last thing that I want to combine are the ones that have x's and y's, so I have 6 here, and I got to take away 2 of them. So 6 minus 2 is 4, so plus 4xy. Alright, we got 2 more, and then we're done. Okay, so for this one, again, we're going to distribute the negative in front of that parentheses, and then we're going to write everything down. So I have 2h minus 6j minus 2k. Negative, negative, so switch the sign, so plus 7h plus 5j plus 4k. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead, and it doesn't matter what letter you start with. I'll start with the H. I have 2 H's here, 7 of them here. 2 plus 7 is 9, so there's 9h. Then I have a negative 6j and a positive 5, so negative 6 plus 1, plus 5 will give me a negative 1, so negative j. And then I have a negative 2k and a positive 4k. Negative 2 plus 4 will give me 2, so plus 2k. All right, and the last one. So again, I'm going to distribute this negative and rewrite it. So I have 9xy squared plus 5xy plus 2xy plus 8xy squared. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and combine these ones. I have xy squared, 9 and 8 give me 17. So I have 17xy squared. And then I have 5x. Do not want to do that again. Whoops. Let me fix this. 5x. Okay. So then I have 5xy here and a 2xy here. So 5 plus 2, I have 7 of those things that we call xy's. And that's it. And that's it for your 8-1 notes. So if you need help or have any questions, just come see me.